Today we are
Yay.
doing mac and cheese remake. Are you ready for that?
Wow.
I'm ready.
Yes,
So I
ready.
know a lot of people love their pasta, and I'm one of them. And it's one
Me
of the good things to
too.
know is you can still have your pasta even if you're on a plant-based lifestyle. So we are going to do kind of a regular standard mac and cheese today, plant-based style. And I've got my kitchen all ready to go. So let us get going. I've got water on the boil here for my pasta. So I want to get it in there right away. So what I've done is I'm actually using a whole grain pasta, um, elbow macaroni. The other one that I like to use is a brown rice pasta I have here. And my tip of the day is that, so here's what I do is I make a pot of macaroni and whatever pasta, and I just seem to eat too much of it. So my tip of the day is if I'm making a serving for me, I put the uh, macaroni or the pasta in the bowl or in my plate before I cook it, and that's how much I'm going to eat, rather than making a big pot and eating the whole thing. So this is how I put a little limit on myself. So I'm going to put this in the water. It takes about 10 minutes. And while we're doing that, we will be making our cheese sauce. All right. So let me get that going. Hey, and I want to welcome everybody to the Daily Energy Bite Show, the Deb Show. We're on at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the weekdays. I'd love to have you join us. Kathy, OJ, how are you guys doing today?
I'm doing good.
Excellent.
I'm doing good. I'm looking
That's
forward to this class because I enjoy pasta so much.
I think all three of us are pasta lovers, right? I know
Me
I
too.
am.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You are too? All right. So let us get going. One of
Yes, I
the
am.
awesome. Yay. So for this dish, one of the big things we're going to use is our Vitamix. And basically, like some of the other recipes we've done, we're basically popping everything into the Vitamix. So while I was getting ready for you ladies and for our audience, I have been boiling up some russet potatoes and carrots together in a salted water. And they're ready now. They're soft. So you boil them till they're soft. They're ready to go. So I'm just going to strain them because I want them to be hot when I put them into the Vitamix. So I'm going to get them right now. Well, this is our test to do things live in the kitchen. All right. So I have my russet potatoes and my carrots that I've boiled, cooked them, like I said, in salted water. And I washed the skins, but I left the skins on the potatoes. That's fine. You don't need to peel them if they're good. This is going to give, you can see the steam, ooh, they're hot. This is going to give our some starchiness to our mac and cheese sauce. So a lot of the recipes I've seen for mac and cheese have some kind of a starch. So I've seen people use butternut squash, and the carrots, of course, are going to help with the color to make it kind of have that yellowy color as well. All right, so we've got our foundation with the potatoes and the carrots, and because it's a starch, once you blend it up with the potatoes, I would recommend not adding more than the recipe. It calls for 1 cup. Don't add more because it just gets kind of globby. So that's good. The other thing we're going to add here is some beans. So this is kind of our bean week. So these are white beans or cannellini beans. I'm going to add them in. So this is just I'm doing things. You know, we talk about trying to be um, quick. Hang on a second. I just got to make sure my timer's good. We talk about wanting to do things quickly and not spend too much time in the kitchen. So for a time trick, using canned beans is fine. So I've drained them. They're not salted. I've drained them and rinsed them off before I put them in here. So I've got my beans. I'm going to add some plant-based milk. I'm using oat milk, and make sure it's not the vanilla kind, just the non-flavored kind is better for this. I have some cashews, just a small amount of cashews that I've soaked um, to soften them up and kind of get them sprouted a little bit. So I've got them there. I have some lemon juice that we're going to add in for flavoring. I also have for flavor Dijon mustard. So these are going to give the kind of the tanginess to the mac and cheese. These are kind of flavor bursts. I also have a little bit of olive oil that I'm going to add in. Make sure your olive oil is extra virgin olive oil. That is the kind of olive oil that is cold pressed, which is what you want. And then I have our cheesy flavor comes from nutritional yeast. So I've got quite a bit here. Now the recipes, a lot of times, I'm going to just say that I usually put in more than what the recipes call for. I guess I like mine cheesy. Well, my recipe is a cup, but I know a lot of times I think they're pretty sparing, but I always add some more. I have garlic as well. Going to add in some garlic. And then I have some spices. So I have some turmeric, some onion powder, salt, and pepper. So not a lot of spice, but a little bit for flavoring. So the turmeric will help give it a yellow color as well. Turmeric is great for, it's like almost like a food coloring, a natural food coloring. And that's basically it. Now, there's not a lot of water in here. So when I go to blend this, it's going to need some help. So Vitamix comes with a tamper to help with that part. So let's get going. And the whole idea is this sauce, really, you want it to stay hot. That's the best time to eat it. So I'm going to take off my lid because I know I'm going to need the tamper. And wait, I guess I should plug it in, Kathy. All right, we're plugged in. We're ready to go. No, we're not. Okay, now we're ready. Now you can see, I don't know if you can hear that it's kind of not turning very much. So I'm going to use the tamper to help it out here. After a little while, it started to go on its own, so that was good. And you could see, look, can you see the steam coming off? That's the way you want it. All right. I have to try it. Make sure it's good. Oh, yeah. This one's good. Okay.
Hits the spot, huh?
It is. Sorry?
It hits the spot.
Yep. It does. I think I have a couple more minutes on my pasta, though. All right. So this is your sauce. With the tamper, make sure you're using whatever comes with the your blender if you have a tamper, because it's not good to be sticking things in. And the tamper is made so that it doesn't hit the blades. It won't get to the blades, so you can like use it like a plunger and it's fine. But if you put a wooden spoon or some kind of a spoon in there and it hits the blades, that's not a good thing. So just for safety's sake, make sure you're using a tamper that comes with the with your blender or your Vitamix or whatever kind of blender that you have. Any questions so far while we wait for our pasta? It's going to be another minute or so.
So a question that I had is, how do you know when it's blended enough? I mean, because I'm assuming you don't want to over blend things, because sometimes things start not being the consistency that you want.
Yeah, I think it's just trial and error. You want to go. So what I do, I mean, to be honest, I look at the sides and see how it's blending and see if there's any chunks. And then the other thing you can do, I didn't do it for this, but is to wipe down the sides. You can probably tell that way as you wipe down the sides. So I kind of look and see if there's chunks that are still floating around on the sides as it's going by. And for this one, you want to make sure that you blend it enough. Let me take care of this. You want to make sure you blend it enough, because then you'll end up with a grainy texture if you don't blend it enough.
Okay.
Kind of thing. So this one, I would say, I don't think you can blend it too much.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. You want to blend it enough so you don't have a grainy texture. Let me check my pasta. And I'm not going to do the throw it against the wall for al dente. I'm just going to taste one, okay? I'm at home and this is for me, so it's all okay. I just got to make sure. I'm going to give it one more minute. A little bit chewy. So I boil the pasta in water that's salted. And when I say salted water, I mean with pink Himalaya salt. I do not use table salt at all. I don't think I've had table salt in my house in almost 10 years now. At least 5. I don't think I've ever even bought it. So it takes about 10 minutes for the whole wheat pasta. Just if you decide, this is a rice pasta, looks very similar. It's brown rice pasta. So this one is gluten-free, whereas the whole grain pasta is made from wheat, but it's whole grain wheat. This one, I say cooks a little sooner. It doesn't take as long to cook, and you have to be really careful. It is a little more starchy, so you do have to be careful if you decide to use brown rice pasta, that you don't overcook it, because it'll get a little bit on the mushy side if you overcook it. So there's a real fine line, I find, with this one between not being too chewy and going over. So you just have to be very careful. All right, I'm going to take my pasta out now. Just going to dump out the water. I'm actually going to mix. Usually what I'll do, because you want this to be hot, I'll put the cheese sauce into the pasta or into my elbow macaroni, and the burner is turned off, but it's still hot. So I'm going to put it back on the burner to stir because I want it to be hot. So add some of my cheese sauce here. And you can drench it as much as you want. It's all up to you how much you drench it. So I'm just going to stir it up on the stove to make sure it stays hot. And then I have my pasta. Here it is. Can you see it?
Could you put it a little bit closer? Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That looks really good.
Well, I'll tell you in a second. I think it looks good. It's really creamy. And it's hot too. I like it. So, yeah, I give it the thumbs up. Hopefully you'll make it and you'll give it the thumbs up. If you like, you can add some hot sauce. Some people like to have like a hot sauce or some other thing. You may have to play around with the ingredient measurements to get the right taste for you. But for me, this is good. As good as mac and cheese that I remember from more than 10 years ago. It works. It's definitely something you want to, I've got lots of sauce left over and I can put it in the fridge and use it again. It's definitely something that when you're eating it, you want to eat it hot. When it gets cool, I'm just going to say, when it gets cool, it does get, because of the potatoes in it, it will kind of get, it's not as good. It's definitely something that's best to eat hot. All right. Any more questions on that?
I reserve the right to ask more questions, but no questions at this time.
Well, you can always ask more questions. So on that note,
that's right.
if you have any questions, you can send me a DM or you can send me an email or just send a note in the chat. We'd love to hear from you. We will be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you know what? Sunday in the U.S. is Super Bowl Sunday. And
Wow.
we're having a Super Bowl party, not because we're fans of football, because we're fans of Usher, who is doing the halftime show. So we have to have a Super Bowl party for Usher. And so this is the time to make chili. So we are going to do a bean chili for tomorrow so that you can wow your guests with your chili on Super Bowl Sunday. And you got to get your beans now because I think they sell out on the weekend. All right. Bye for now.